Hello folks, I'm Yudu Chen. I'm the guy who made the video about HEMA in the last course project, and this is my swordsmanship sensei, Mr. Matt.
Don't call me sensei.
Oh, senpai, okay.
All right, yeah, my name is Matt Curry. I've been studying this art from the master Joachim Meyer for the last 6 years or so. I've been teaching for 4 to 5 at this point.
Yep. So there are just a couple of questions people are interested about HEMA and about you as a mentor. So yeah, so how would you describe what the HEMA is in a brief way, like 2 or 3 sentences? Because I didn't do a good job last time when I explained this to my friends.
Okay, so what HEMA is, it stands for Historical European Martial Arts, and it has an emphasis on that H, the historical. What we do is we find manuals and we read them, we look at the art that is within them, and we try to interpret what it actually means. Part of the process is reading, right? Testing it out. If it's not good, if it fails, you come up with new interpretation and try again and keep doing that until it seems like you've gotten it right. There are no living masters, so that's the only way that we can really do it.
So it's like an archaeological, scholarly activity. It's not just about beating heck out of people with swords.
Yeah, it's essentially, it's an activity for athletic historians.
Wow, that's so interesting. So personally, why did you get involved in the HEMA activity at first place?
So it happened while I was at work, actually. It was the end of the day, and one of my friends at work was preparing to go to training, right? And he walked through the hallway after having, changed in one of the locker rooms or whatever. And he was carrying one of the synthetic swords that we use, and I was like, where are you going with that? And he explained HEMA, and then this was, in early March of 6 years ago, and he invited me out to the park the next day and gave me the basics. And it was super cold, but I was already hooked. And I came back, at the time we were training in a park. This was before I had taken over as instructor, and the rest is history, I suppose.
Yeah, I hope I knew this activity sooner if I had a friend like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I wish I had discovered this in my 20s, but I was already like 33, yeah, 34 at that point.
Yeah. So what's your favorite memory, the favorite moment about your HEMA journey?
Oh man, I suppose my favorite thing about it was actually meeting all of the people that I have, come to love over the years. Both mentors, peers, friends, people that I've, given some mentorship, all that stuff. They're all really good people that I've met, and that aspect has kept me in the hobby even when it was hard, right?
Oh, so meeting people is your favorite moment. So what's your primary reason why you promote this activity to people like me and all the other nice folks?
Well, I'd be lying if I didn't say it was entirely self-serving, which that is, there's a phrase which is be the change you want to see in the world, and I wanted a HEMA club here in Champaign, so when the previous person left, I was like, well, somebody's got to take over, and I want to do it because I wanted to make sure that we had a club. But it is also about, the love of sharing it with people. I think it's a good activity for people to try even just once. If you like, fantasy movies or D&D or anime or whatever, just even the one time getting a sword in your hand gives you a new context that you hadn't previously been able to see things in.
Yeah, that's definitely something I can sympathize. When I touch my sword and lift it up, the weight of the sword simply changed how I think I interpret the world. It's like I feel so powerful about it. It's an empowerment.
Yeah, a long while back, someone had put a fencing foil in my hand, and I was looking at it, I was like, I feel no emotional reaction to holding this at all. But when you get this sword in your hand the first time, it's like, oh,
something. Yeah.
This is a sword.
It's a legit piece of metal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so say if you are a very powerful figure in HEMA community and you can make some change, hypothetically, yeah. What kind of change do you want to see in the HEMA community?
Lower bar of entry.
What?
Lower bar of entry.
Lower bar of entry?
Yeah, I would want it to be cheaper to get in. It is kind of an expensive hobby.
This thing is so expensive.
Yeah, a lot of this stuff comes from overseas. They are starting to actually get, the more affordable options, but it is still an expensive hobby. Yeah, so that's what I would want to change.
Gotcha. Yeah. So, what kind of people would you like to see more in the HEMA community? Like, we have met a variety of people. Like, what kind of people? It's plural, so you can describe several kind of people if you want.
Everyone.
Everyone.
So I think it's good for everyone. It's athletic. It's interesting. It's everyone.
Yeah, no matter they're young.
I know that's
old,
a non-answer.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like a non-answer, but it's explaining a lot about the openness people are expecting to see in HEMA community, because for now, this sport has very limited exposure on the internet and the equipment are expensive, but we would appreciate more people to learn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Especially given HEMA is an intricate science of fighting. That means no matter you are young or old, you should be capable of learning this art. Mm-hmm. Like, do you think that's a true statement? Because sometimes it's pretty hard to learn. It
is hard to learn, but that's true of any martial art. That's true of most things. Like learning chess is hard to learn. Learning to play video games, if you have no context and no background in it, it's hard to learn. A lot of things are hard to learn. And this is just a combination of things, I think, that makes it more interesting and more motivating to learn. Yeah, so that's my take on that.
Gotcha. Yeah, thank you, Master Matt, for this inspiring conversation. And so I just hope and more people like me could be inspired by being part of the HEMA community and learn cutting their friends with those beautiful swords. Yeah.
Yeah, it was my pleasure to. It has been my pleasure to give you pointers while we're training. But it is also my pleasure to do this interview. And I'll see you next week. And I hope to see some of you next week.
Yeah, it's in Stock Pavilion. So if you have any question about HEMA, just ask HEMA Club. Just ask me, and I can give the pointer as to where to meet and when. And just pick up a sword and cut your friends and have fun.